Alright folks, welcome to episode 9 of CRT Secrets, Connecting the Dots. Now, before we start, grab yourself a cup of coffee, or tea, or milk, whatever you like, and put aside your distractions, and go to a corner of your room, and watch attentively. Now, Bitcoin, first of all, we had a flash crash, quote unquote, which was nothing more than a monthly CRT playing out, right? 3 drives, turtle soup, and then a turtle soup of the turtle soup, and then a crash down to the CRT low, right? Obviously, the non-CRT traders were very surprised, but all it was a CRT, which was also digging into an old low, which had an FVG under it, right? So at this point, some sort of bullish reaction was to be expected, right? So even if you're bullish and you think the top is in, then expect some sort of retracement, either for a complete reversal or a retracement for a dump. And this is how you're going to have to think about all your trades. Even if you end up being very confident in a trade, always have the other possibility at the back of your head. That way you're never surprised, right? Right, so Bitcoin dumps, and of course the dump is initiated by a classic model number 1 candle, right, which is the candle that, it's the one specific candle, this one, that liquidated the old high, right? So this one specific candle, it's not a zone, it's not a bunch of candles like you see in supply and demand, or even with ICT where he says choose all these candles together, right, which is just stupid, right? It's this one specific candle right over there, right? That's the one. When they close below it, then it dumps soon after, right? Retrades into model number 1 and then dumps right away. And this model number 1 is a model number 1 of a model number 1, right? So even this one specific candle right here, that's too fat, is turtle souping the old high, and this one specific candle, right? So it's a model number 1 of a CRT. Close below, lower prices, right? So all the way down here, everyone's bearish, and when it finally hits a bearish target, then people expect price to just keep dumping to zero, and that's not how price moves, right? If price moved that way, then there would be no losers, right? Price moves in range and a trend, and a range, turtle soup, trend, and then a range, turtle soup, trend, range, turtle soup, trend, and so on. That's how price moves, right? So in this case, as soon as they hit a major target, as soon as they go and attack an old liquidity pool, especially one which has an FVG under it, right? Especially one which is happening around all-time highs, expect some sort of reaction, and that's exactly the principle that was used for this trade, right? So that's the framework of the trade. And of course, with a CRT marking the low of this entire dump right there, right? But that wasn't the trade, right? There's also something else happening here, which is the weekly candle closed below this one specific up close candle that liquidated the old high, right? So technically speaking, this could be a model number one. It doesn't have all the criteria, right? But this is a model number one. Now let's go back in time using the good old replay button, which I've earned the right to use because I'm the only person who was called price live to more than an 85% accuracy live publicly. That's on the record, and that's verifiable. So they closed below like this. Even if you're bearish, then expect a pump into this candle at least, right? So all signs were showing and pointing towards some sort of rally, right? Whether it's a rally only to retrace and then reverse, or a rally to go higher, we'll see, right? But there was a rally promised, and it was in this instance that this trade idea appeared. Right, so it's not look at a candle and buy. No, there's framework, there's logic, there's confluences, and if this all looks like a lot, then that's okay. Feel free to rewatch the video and digest it once and twice, and rewatch the previous episodes. And for those who want to go a bit deeper, then you can sign up to CRT University. Bank transfer will be available starting from today. Right, so that'll be on Telegram. And the updated deadline for the signups is the 31st of October. Right, so if you're paying attention to the video, then you caught this little mini announcement. Now, the candle opens right over here. The weekly candle opens, and then they go up, and then they go down. And then at this point in time, they showed me intention of going higher. How so? Well, let's start with, we have here with market profiling, right? So first of all, we have, and this is my process before any trade. First of all, we have the higher time frame candle shape, which is expecting some sort of retracement, so higher, right? We have the daily hitting into an old liquidity pool, right? Which means some sort of reaction is expected. And then we have the market profiling. So first, the higher time frame candle shape and narrative, and then market profile, which is the highs and lows. We have here price stabbing into an old low and then closing above the high that broke the low. And this is a true market structure shift. So after this close above, look for them to retrace into this area between the high and the low, and then pump higher, right? So that was in essence the trade, market profiling. And then of course you look for the entry model. After you do this, then you do this, and then you come to the entry model itself, which is the last thing, right? In all my videos, you'll see me mentioning a whole bunch of confluences before talking about the entry, because that's how it is. It's a game of stacking confluences, And when the confluences are overwhelmingly one-sided, then you take the trade in that side. That's the game, right? Now down here, it was Tuesday. London session, right? That's an important detail. All I was trying to do is trying to catch a portion of one daily candle, right? Catching a portion of one daily candle. That's it. That's all I'm trying to do over here, right? So I go mark Tuesday midnight and then Wednesday midnight. All I'm trying to do is trade this thing. Trade from here to here. This point of time I'm trying to trade. Right, based on the confluences of the higher time frame candle shape and the market profiling. Right? So I look for an entry within a certain time period based on the shape of the higher time frame candle and the market profile. Write that down in your notebook. If you don't have a notebook yet, then pause the video for 5 seconds and get a notebook and come back. All right, so pause now and go get it and come back. And of course, you didn't pause, as usual. That's a habit you're gonna have to change in you. Now, let's go to Ethereum. And this is application of SMT, right? We go here. You see how in Ethereum they attacked this low, but in Bitcoin they did not attack that low and they rallied. That's SMT. So when you see this happening, you expect them not to go back into the low, right? Now the confluence of the actual entry, and we're zooming in real zoomily right now. We're really zooming in. Now the entry model itself is, as you know, and before I get into the entry model, let's first revise a little mini concept, which is SMT equals expansion. That's one thing. And SMT, only look for bullish SMTs in a higher time frame bullish market. And this, you must note this down. Only look for bullish SMTs in a higher time frame bullish market. Only look for a bearish SMT in a higher time frame bearish market. And SMT is expansion, right? So based on the higher time frame analysis, I chose this bullish SMT because the higher time frame is indicating bullishness, right? The higher than the current time frame, that is. Now comes the actual entry model, and let's zoom in even further, right? Every single entry you will ever take is going to be, and note this down, no matter how advanced you are, this is something you need to focus on and pay attention to extra, right? So if you got distracted during the video so far, then snap back into it and focus. Put aside all your distractions. Now, every single entry you will ever take is either going to be a model number 1, or it's going to be a true market structure shift, and that's the doctor handwriting coming out right there. After all, I'm a doctor. I'm not your average unemployed drug addict, influencer, trader, mentor. Right? I'm a surgeon. Excuse me. Right? So every single trade you ever take is going to be either model number one or it's going to be a true market structure shift. And let's apply that here in real time. Right? So in the 5-minute time frame, what happened was they produced this SMT over here. That's very good. And then on the lower time frame, I'm looking for them to do the following. I'm looking for them to low, high, lower, low, break above the high that broke the low. Boom. That right there unlocks the OTE. And then, of course, there was my entry during the London session on Tuesday, right there. That was an entry right there. And that's an entry I'm going to give you as a homework to study the time of my entry. Right? So the candle opens. And then they produce low, high, lower, low, higher, high. And then they dump back into the area between the high and the low. And this is something new I've mentioned in this video, right? Which is the area between the high and the low of the true market structure shift is a good area to buy, with the stop loss being the low of the turtle soup. Because if your stop loss is the turtle soup, then it's unlikely that you get turtle souped, right? And then, of course, all that happened later was a massive expansion. SMT equals expansion, right there. Exit up there. Every exit is an entry. And there you go. Right, the risk, obviously. The risk was enter here, which is within the area of between the high and the low. Between the high that broke the low and the turtle soup low. And the target was the previous day's high, because that turtle soup is not very convincing, is it? Right? You want to see them stab real hard into the old high, normally. Right? Actually, leaving behind too many smooth edges on the way down to a perfect SMT and then a rally. Right? Now, you do sometimes, there are two ways to exit. You exit either based on time or you exit based on price. So either you exit at a certain time or you exit at a certain price level. Both are valid. It's simply about how much hungry are you to be more accurate, right? Which you should be. Right, so that is the breakdown of the Bitcoin trade. These can be boring for some of you, so please tell me if you would like to see more trade videos, trade review videos. Comment below and tell me if you like these. Right? These are super advanced and they are very fun for me and for the astute pupil, but if I want to reach a larger audience, then this isn't the way. But I couldn't care less about followers or likes or numbers. I don't care. All I care about is reaching the genuine truth seekers, those who really want to learn and be freed. Those are my target audience. So if that's you, then you are my target audience. Right? Genuine, honest truth seekers. And if you are a genuine, honest truth seeker, then you will eventually end up at CRT and Turtle Soup by me. Everything else is garbage, and everyone else is full of shit. No exceptions. I hope you found that insightful. I hope you took notes, and make sure to rewatch it 1, 2, 3, 4, 10 times if you want. Take notes, take notes, take notes. There's an Arabic saying which goes العلم صيد والكتابة قيده قيد صيودك بالحبال الواثقة, which is knowledge is a prey and writing is the lasso, the rope. Tie your prey with thick ropes. Right. I hope you all found that insightful. And I hope to see you inside CRT University. Sign up before the 1st of November, because then it's going to be closed. Right. I hope you found this video insightful. Rewatch it as many times as you want at your own pace. Don't worry about others. Take your time. All right. I wish you good luck, good trading, and see you in the next episode.